The classrooms were falling apart. Cracked desks, broken fans, no AC. Kids literally passing out during class. The school told us they had no money, so we spent the summer selling candy bars and overpriced popcorn, sweating, exhausted, door to door. We raised over $12,000. Promised new desks, working AC, finally fixing the classrooms. But when school started, nothing changed. Jake, quiet kid, sits in the back, never causes drama. Asked where the money went. The teacher didn't answer. She sent him straight to the principal's office. The principal sat behind his desk, smirking, fiddling with trophies and awards, pretending everything was perfect while the school literally rotted around him. This school has standards, Jake. We can't have students making scenes, spreading rumors, he says, fake professionalism dripping off every word. As he talks, Jake notices the trash can near the desk, papers sticking out. One catches his eye, a cruise ship, blue water, glossy photo, expensive print. Jake's gut twists. While the principal keeps lecturing, Jake casually reaches down, grabs the paper, folds it fast, stuffs it into his sock. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but it's too interesting to ignore. The principal slides the detention slip across the desk. You all right? You're limping, he asks, raising an eyebrow. Jake doesn't flinch. Stub my toe? On one of those pristine desks you care so much about? He fires back, calm as ever. The principal chuckles, clueless. Jake leaves, detention slip in hand, and $12,000 worth of questions hidden in his sock. The quiet kid wasn't done, not even close. Jake sat through detention, cracked chair, flickering lights, heat pressing in from every side. The whole time that paper burned in his sock like it was radioactive. Finally, the bell rang. Empty halls, peeling paint, busted ceiling tiles creaking overhead. Jake ducked into the old stairwell, quiet, out of sight. He pulled the paper out, unfolded it, edges creased from being jammed in his sock. It wasn't just a cruise brochure, it was an invoice. His eyes locked onto the bold black numbers. $8,172.99, paid in full, school account. Below that, luxury Caribbean cruise package, private balcony, all inclusive. Jake's stomach twisted. They made him sell candy bars for this, the classrooms, still rotting. And here was the proof, paid for with fundraiser money. Jake folded the paper tighter, shoved it in his backpack this time, away from curious eyes. His heart was racing, mind spinning. He didn't have all the answers yet, but the quiet kid, he never lets go once he's onto something. Jake stuffed the paper deep in his backpack, zipping it shut tight. His shirt clung to his skin, the heat. Inside the building was unbearable. No AC, broken windows, fans buzzing uselessly. Sweat dripped down his back as he walked the halls. He passed the bathrooms, the floor slick with standing water, pipes hissing, a slow drip echoing off the cracked tiles. The janitor's bucket sat abandoned, overflowing, mop half tipped over. Mildew clung to the walls, the stink of old water hanging in the air. Every step, his shoes stuck to the floor. Jake wiped his face, drenched, suffocating, and stared down the hallway at the office where the principal still sat, air-conditioned, untouched by the heat. 8472s, luxury cruise, private balcony, all while kids were slipping on bathroom floors and passing out in class. The building was literally falling apart, and Jake had the proof. He didn't know what he'd do with it yet, but the quiet kid, he always finishes what he starts. By the time Jake got home, his shirt was still clinging with dried sweat. The heat, the water leaks, the smell of mildew, all of it still burning in his head. He didn't wait long. Backpack hit the floor, the paper already in his hand. His two closest friends, Marcus and Eli, sat cross-legged on the bedroom floor, gaming controllers forgotten, as Jake unfolded the cruise invoice. They leaned in, eyes widening at the bold numbers. $8,472.99, paid in full, school account, luxury Caribbean cruise. Marcus's jaw dropped. That's fundraiser money. Eli's voice cracked. No way, all those hours selling candy bars. That's when Marcus remembered. His dad worked at the local news station. Without thinking, Marcus bolted for the living room. The boys scrambled to tuck the papers away, still processing it. Seconds later, Marcus's dad stepped through the doorway, cheerful, holding his car keys. You boys scheming in the dark? He joked, grin wide. But his eyes fell to the unfolded invoice, the cruise details, the school account. The grin faded. His whole expression changed, playful to full serious in a heartbeat. He picked up the paper, reading it twice. His jaw clenched. All those hours he'd made his son volunteer, thinking it'd help fix the school. His eyes burned into the page, then lifted to the boys, a new grin creeping across his face. Looks like we've got ourselves a story, he said, voice sharp with purpose. The glowing on AR light turned red, cameras locked in, microphones hot. Marcus's dad straightened his notes, eyes dead serious now, voice cool and sharp. Boy, do I have a story for you? He said, holding the invoice high toward the camera. The screen behind him lit up, bold letters, school fundraiser scandal, luxury cruise, paid with student money. The teacher's lounge buzzed with morning chatter, stale coffee brewing, half-eaten pastries on the table. The principal, superintendent, and teachers circled around, sipping coffee, casually watching the small-mounted TV in the corner. The second Marcus's dad held the invoice toward the camera. The room fell still. The bold headline blared across the screen. Paid with school funds. Over $8,000 for private cruise. Fundraiser money misused. The principal's coffee mug slipped from his hand, shattering across the tile floor. The superintendent, mid-sip, spat coffee across the table, coughing hard. Gasps filled the lounge. Teachers froze, eyes wide, jaws dropping, everyone staring at the principal. The TV volume blared with details as the room held its breath. Then the superintendent broke the silence, voice sharp, eyes burning. My office, now, he snapped. The principal didn't argue, face pale, sweat already forming, following the superintendent out of the lounge as the stunned teachers watched in silence. The lounge fell quiet as every teacher's eyes locked onto the superintendent's office window. The thick glass showed everything, but not a sound escaped. Inside, the principal and superintendent stood face to face, voices clearly raised, gestures sharp, frustration boiling over. The principal paced wildly, hands thrown up, face flushed. The superintendent stayed planted, calm, cold, cutting. The principal's rant off with clipped words. The teachers couldn't hear what was being said, but they saw the principal's composure unravel, papers flying, hands slamming desks, finger jabs, pure chaos behind glass. The superintendent's expression never changed, his eyes stone cold. Finally, the principal stopped. The superintendent reached for his phone, slow, deliberate, pressing it to his ear as the principal's shoulders sagged. Whatever was being said now, it wasn't optional. Outside the glass, the lounge stayed silent, coffee half-sipped, jaws clenched. They didn't need sound to know what came next. Minutes later, Jake sat in class. The back window cracked open, stale heat trickling in. Sirens chirped outside. The parking lot lit up with red and blue as the principal was led out, head low, hands behind his back. Students whispered, eyes darting. Is that the principal? Did they arrest him? All that fundraiser work? Wasted. Jake's eyes never left the window. His grin, subtle, quiet. But he knew this wasn't over. And the quiet kid never stops halfway.